Kia ora koutou katoa, nau mai, haere mai, ki te tine hui. Lovely to see you all this December 8th, this Monday lunchtime, and thanks for giving your time on I'm sure a very busy Monday in December to undertake some professional development. It's great to see you all there online. As usual, it's always lovely to have Viv in Wellington supporting online. Kia ora. So I'll offer karakia as a start to our session this afternoon. Mea karakia tātou. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tonga, kia mā kina kina ki uta, kia mā taratara ki tai, e hi ake ana te ata kura, he tio, he huka, he hohunga, tihei Mauri ora, sorry. I'm the ACE Teaching Standards Advisor. And that's a little bit of background about where I've worked in the past and where I have had the privilege of learning so much from so many wonderful educators and learners as well. So, here, this is the important thing. This is what we're talking about today, and that's managing your well-being. And I'm suspecting that many of you are thinking, oh, it's such a hard time of year. Surely there'll be something that I can learn from this session as a reminder. Because I'm fully aware that many of you will know in your head the things to do to manage your own well-being. But of course, we get so busy this time of year, we don't do what we know, and other activities take over. And I'm totally guilty of that myself, but I do find it useful just to take a break. And so thanks for taking a break. Hopefully you're eating some kai, having a drink as I as I work through the session, and thinking about you and your well-being. As I said, I was the ACE Teaching Standards Advisor, so I'm using and referring to the 17 indicators that give us a sense of are we being a good tutor or how are we being a good tutor to our learners. So have a look at these if you haven't seen them. I always find them a useful reminder of the things I need to keep working on to be an effective educator, an effective kaiako. So I'm referring this session to 7.1, although it's a little bit of a leap, really, because it is about well-being. When we talked about running these workshops, this seemed to be the best one to run at the end of the year, and it doesn't necessarily feed into this one directly, but I think indirectly it's really key that we consider always the feedback of obviously from our learners and from our communities and reflect on how we can be as effective as possible with our teaching, which then leads me to well-being. So the more positive we are in our mindset, the more likely we are to be able to be the most effective educator. So there's the link, if you like. So that's the aim of today's session. And I will offer this whakatauki to start. And it's by Dr. Hinimoa Elder. And I quite like the interpretation she's given to it. So in Te Reo Māori, it's e koe koe te tui, e kiti kiti te kaka, e kuku te kiruru. So there you can see the direct translation. It's about the tui squawks, the kaka chatters, and the kiruru, the wood pigeon, coos. But her interpretation of this whakatauki I thought was really telling and fitting for today. So it's about all of us, the diversity of us as people, as educators, working with the learners that we work with. But it's also about that next line, no matter how we are coping or maybe not coping so well, we need each other. And I thought that was a really fitting one for today to be considering the importance of you and your well-being wherever you are and whatever role you have as an educator in the community. So this is our kaupapa for this session. As many of you know, it's just an hour, so there is quite a lot to cover off in an hour. And as I said earlier, some of you will be familiar with much of this content, but I always think it's a good reminder. So we're looking at well-being, some goals, the benefits of it. We're looking at the lovely material that the Mental Health Foundation has shared with us about the 5 ways to well-being. We're looking at self-care in you, some new habits. That's going to be the invitation at the end for you to think about, and then an opportunity for reflection. So what? What is this session meant to you? What is the one thing that you're going to do as a result of today's session? Kia ora. So I can see there that there are 31 of you online, which is fantastic. Lovely to have you all here. And what I do like to see is who is online and get a little bit of a sense of you. Sadly, this is something that I can't do in person or spend time hearing from each of you individually. But if you wouldn't mind taking the time, I think it is always nice to have an opportunity for whakawhanaungatanga, and in online learning, we can do that only on, well, the best place and the most efficient place to do it is in the chat. So if you wouldn't mind taking a moment to write your name, please, your role, and your location in the motu. I'm here in Ōtautahi. And as I said, I'm the ACE Teaching Standards Advisor, and I also work as the Southern Manager for Ako Aotearoa. Sadly, we're in the last 2 weeks of Ako Aotearoa's life. That is the Centre for Tertiary Teaching Excellence. But don't worry, all the resources that you may want to use are still on their website, but it might be good to have a look and just think about the materials on the website and download some of them if you can. There's some really good ones there, and please contact me if you want some help in particular with some useful ones for the ACE sector. Thank you. While I've been talking, hopefully a lot of you in the chat have introduced yourself. So thank you so much for doing that. And I'll just take a moment just to see who's here in the space. So wow, lifelong learner. Excellent, Julian. So many of you with so much experience. That's fantastic. And great to have the last session for this year. And sadly, my last session with the online learning program for ACE Aotearoa, to have so many of you who come from some wonderful organisations and work in community. Lovely to connect, and do feel free to connect with each other online too. So let's carry on with looking at the content of today. So, as many of you will be familiar with, well-being is for all of us the ability to cope with what's happening in life, and certainly at this time of year, it's really pronounced as we rush towards celebrations, as we rush towards Christmas, and we rush to complete all the tasks that we need to do in our lives. That's both professionally and personally. Well-being is important for us to be able to work as productively and interact as positively with others, but also to make sure that we are acknowledging ourselves and recognizing who we are and our potential with whatever we're doing. I'm now going to invite you to do something a little bit creative now, and suggest that you use the annotate tool. So for some of you, it's at the top of your screen. For others of you, it's at the bottom of your screen. But it is a pencil icon, and it's called Annotate. Some of you will have used it before. Some of you it may be new. So if you press on it, will give you a sidebar of different things that you can do. And what I'm suggesting is that you well, I am inviting you now to do a variety of drawings or stamps. I'm going to choose a stamp. So I've put on the screen already a stamp. So if you go to the pencil icon, you can draw. Yeah, someone's drawing a heart there now. That's fantastic. And then if you go to the one underneath the pencil, it's a stamp. And so you can use a few different stamps there. And if you head down to the left a little bit more, you can change the color as well. So you can play around with different colors, whatever you like. Oh, some people are really good at drawing there because I found it a little bit challenging, but that's why I'm choosing the stamp. Um, because that will give me opportunities to do things like hearts, which I'm doing everywhere. But some people are doing really nice. I can see heart, sun. Oh, that's cool. Look at that, Lindsay. You've done a sun. Some people it's a triangle, some people it's cadra. I like your flower. That's really cool. So yeah, have a little play with that. And some of you, it hasn't. And oh, actually, sorry. The other thing I did say is you can put a word on there too if you like. If you use the T tool, the text tool, you can put a word as well. So sorry, I didn't mean to limit you. Can someone draw a bed on my behalf, Charlotte? I love it. Yeah, why not? That's great. Yeah, ask someone else to draw it. So look at that. Look at all your lovely things on there. Feeling carefree, some words there, but also lots of hearts, suns, smiles, bows, stars, more flowers. It looks like animals. Yeah, dogs. Yeah, that's what well-being looks like. Joy. Yeah, all the things we like. Oh, yeah, there's the bed. Look at that. The person at the bottom there sleeping on the bed. Yeah, I love that. Looks like a tree there. Yeah.
It's my Christmas tree, but I don't know how to get it green.
I thought it was the shape. Yes, true. Not sorry,
Thank
Marie.
you. Thank you for confirming what I already knew. I can't draw.
Oh, sorry. But well, it is good to see that. Yeah, I can see it looks like a Christmas tree now. Yeah. So,
Thank you. Who did
yeah.
that?
It's always good when people collaborate together. Okay, so that's lovely to see. So a beach Judith has put there. Yeah, so we've got a bed, we've got a beach star, lots of lovely things. So you all are aware of it. Butterflies, bottles. Oh yeah, there's the wine. Surely someone had to do some wine or some gin. No, maybe not. Well, water. Sorry, perhaps it's water. Anyway. I can see that for each of you, you all have different ways of supporting your well-being, different things that work for you. And at times, we forget some of these things. We forget that sun on our face, spending time with our animals. We forget that these things, um, yeah, these things can help. So thank you. We'll carry on to the next slide, but thanks so much. Having a cup of tea, perhaps having a cup of coffee. I've just noticed that. Staycation. Yes, for me it's travel, but for some people it's staycation too. Yeah. So we all have different things that help us with our well-being. Thank you very much. Thanks for giving it a go and for that beautiful, colourful way of working. So I'm just going to move out now into the next screen. So a little bit more to talk about well-being. It is a valuable asset. Sadly, these days, nearly 1 in 2 New Zealanders are likely to meet the criteria for a mental illness at some times in their lives. And that's why well-being is so important, especially for those of you who have staff And of course, though, the responsibility is for all of us and for all of us to think about our whānau as well. It is something that's often ignored, but we have been lucky that our previous government was so supportive of wellbeing, and there have been changes in some legislation so that wellbeing is something that can be used in order to be able to take leave in some organisations and can be referred to as an important aspect of looking after staff as well. Many of you may have seen the Five Ways to Wellbeing, and they have been around for quite a few years, but I always think it's a really good reminder for all of us, as it says at the bottom, e tahi ara e rima ki te nākau ora, so helping us all to stay mentally well. And as I said, for some people going into a Christmas time, a holiday time, can be joyous, can be relaxing, can be wonderful, and for others, perhaps not. It can be a time of deep loneliness, sadness, and frustration and isolation. And just even getting through from now till the end of the year, we need everything that we can as in the name of tools to help often. So I thought it was a good reminder to remember about these five, about talking and listening, connecting with people, even though sometimes we just want to stay in our own space and do the work we need to do. That connection can really help us, really can help us keep going. Another thing, and I find this personally hard, is despite everything I have going on in my life, I need to also keep being active because that's also what can help. So keep doing what I can to move around, try and fit in that 10-minute walk over lunchtime. I know you're sitting here today listening to this, but maybe that you can take a bit of a break afterwards as well. It's a time to take notice too, to remember the simple things that give you joy, and many of you referred to the beach or trees or animals. Keep learning. I know you're all lifelong learners already, but it may be a time that you want to do something else, to learn something you haven't learned about before. Sadly, with needing to leave Ako Aotearoa, I have to have a new phone and new laptop, so I'm doing lots of learning at the moment, and surprising myself too that I actually, even though, getting older, I can pick things up still. Yeah, what is it? The old dogs can. I've forgotten the saying, but an old dog can keep on learning still. And then finally, give. Now, I know many of you as educators are already giving so much in your lives. Um, but it might be a different type of giving that you're doing at this time of year, to other people, perhaps to neighbours, to whānau members. But each of those five ways of well-being can help all of us to get through, I find. Self-care, let's have a little talk about self-care too. What are you doing? And I've got a screen here with a number of different ideas. And what I'll invite you to do shortly is to think about, well, what is it that you can do? So, all year, many of you are working flat out for your learners, for your tutors, but probably are not doing the things that each of you need to do in the name of self-care. So, let's just start at the top and work around in a clockwise direction. So, asking for help, how many of you at this time of year are asking people to help you, particularly people who you know will do the job, not the people that you know are going to struggle, but maybe there's some help you can ask for. For many people, spending time alone can be caring and can help with looking after yourself. For others, it's putting yourself first instead of always looking after learners, looking after tutors. I know you're doing that. I know you're doing that for your whānau. But can there be an opportunity for you to put yourself first, and look after your well-being so that you don't completely burn out at this time before we take a break away from the mahi that we do every day? Similar to asking for help, are you asking for what you need, rather than being indirect about it? Are you being as specific as possible so people know, yes, this is what I need at this time? And giving people, I think, advance notice rather than springing it on them. And it, I think, always helps as well, so that you know that you are caring about yourself, but also keeping communication open with others. The next one is setting boundaries. That's a pretty tricky one to do, but it is a really important one because it does mean that we can be as effective as possible in our teaching. So, this is about managing stress all year round. I know I'm talking about this time of year specifically, but it's thinking about the boundaries that we put in place all the time to manage our stress so that we are able to give to our learners. And I know, as I said, I know this, many of you know this, but it's whether we do it, isn't it? It's whether we make sure we do it. For some of us, staying at home can be useful for looking after ourselves. It's similar to spending time alone. Some people struggle with it, other people love it. And certainly since COVID, we've had more of an opportunity to be able to do that than in the past. So just take that time sometimes. I know I'm probably not the best person to say this because I don't stay at home, as many of you know, but I do other things that support my self-care. Saying no, again, a tricky one, isn't it? It's so easy to keep saying yes, yes, I'll come. Oops, sorry, I'll come and do that. I'll be there. I'll buy that. I'll bring that. I'll do that. I'll help you. I'll support you. And it is tricky, but again, trying to juggle all of the things that we do, and try and set boundaries, try and say no as well. Just a couple more. Forgiving ourselves. We can't be that perfect person we want to be every day, and maybe there are things that we wished we'd done, wished we'd said. I wish I'd started clearing out my office earlier. But I'm trying to forgive myself. Yeah, there's lots of things I'm trying to forgive myself and carry on. And again, I've found this graphic really helpful for reminding me of so many things that I need to focus on for my own well-being. And sometimes it's the last one, isn't it? It's taking a step back and thinking, actually, I don't need to do that. I don't need to be that person. I don't need to. I can delegate to someone else. They can do that in my team. They can support that learner. They can support that educator. So there's a list of things there. Um, of self-care, and just following on in this next slide, yes, you're all fabulous and you're all doing a great job, but what works for you? Does anyone feel like sharing right now about you and your well-being? So some of you may wish to write in the chat, others of you it may be that you're happy enough to share. So I'm just inviting you to open your mic and share what works for you. What is it that you find really useful for you right now? Anyone like to do that, please?
I sometimes look at how many things I'm actually juggling. And
Yes.
then when I think, oh, that is quite a bit, if
Yeah.
someone asks me to do something more, I've got it in my brain that no, perhaps not this time.
Yeah.
To be confident and polite to say, I can't do this right now.
Yeah.
I'm already doing this, this, and this. in your mind. You've got enough.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
don't have to justify, you
No,
just have to
I
live
was just
life.
wondering that. Do you say that? Because I slip into that trap, Marie, of justifying, but you just have it in your mind, the justification, but you say it. Yeah.
Yeah, but just be polite around it. And
Yeah.
thank you for
Yeah.
asking me.
Yeah, yeah. Nice. Thanks, Marie, for that. Yeah. Anyone else like to share what they do?
I was just going to say, for me, who I'm also a life coach and a counselor,
Great.
and so some of the things I think are quite helpful for people is being able to get rid of the thoughts in your head. And I do a process called morning pages. And when we can dump the stuff that's constantly in there, going around and around, it gives us space, emotional and mental space. And that is sometimes, it becomes accumulative that we're working, 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 and we never feel we get a break. And so, this process of getting up in the morning and just writing what's at the top of your brain allows us to have space to make better decisions. It's a little bit like we're stepping back and we get
Yeah.
emotional and mental breath to go, oh, well, I now know why I've been so irritated about that because
Mm.
it's made me feel like this. And now I can make a different choice. So I find that very helpful, and I find it really helpful for myself because I've had complex post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and panic earlier on in my life. And this has been a tool that helps me just to get rid of those thoughts and give me some space. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you so much. And thanks for for your sharing your skills there, Elizabeth. It would be good if you took the session, I'm thinking, with all your experience. But that's so lovely. So it's not a to-do list because I'll do that. I'll
no,
wake up and go to
no.
do, and I've done one today, and it's like already it's like, oh my gosh, there's too much on that to-do list. So it's not
No,
that.
because no, because it's about whatever's in your mind, we just dump it onto the page
Yep.
and it
Yep.
actually gives us some space in our brain
Yeah.
and our emotional body because our thoughts create our emotions and our emotions create our actions or
Sure.
non-actions because we
Yeah.
carry too much. And so it helps us just to get some space, step back. And I think it's a great tool, and I recommend everybody does it every morning. But you might not want to do that, but it is a fantastic tool. Yeah,
Yeah.
not a task, not writing lists. You're just letting
Yeah.
go of stuff. Yeah,
Nice, nice. I love that. Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Really
you're
appreciate
welcome.
it. And who else had something? Was it you, Viv? No?
I was just
Or-
going to say there's quite a few in the chat if you want to jump in and read
oh,
out a
yes.
couple.
I did see that. And oh, look, thank you so much, the person who helped me with the old dog new tricks. I was struggling, I have to say. Sorry. I knew the saying, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Yeah. Okay. So, but thanks, Lindsay. But you're saying, however, as a trainer of dogs, this is not true for dogs or humans. No, it's not. You can. You can teach them. Yeah, thank you for that. So exercise is really lovely. Judith, mindfulness, thank you. Lindsay, you're blessed to have great colleagues, yes, and you let them know. That's really fantastic. And good to be able to do that. For some people, it's perhaps our whānau, partners, friends. But if we have someone we can debrief with, sometimes over coffee, sometimes, just walking on the beach, all of those things can really help. And like Elizabeth said, for many of us, it's clearing our head, writing it, so that we have that space to carry on and can feel revitalized. Thanks, Sharon. Walking your puppy on the beach with my husband. Yeah, I find that I take a minute and stand looking at the horizon and take deep breaths to reset. Yeah, that's really lovely. And it's so simple and yet I mean, so hard to do, isn't it? It's free. It's just the petrol sometimes if we need to drive to the beach, but it can be really helpful for restoration. Lots of lovely ideas. Again, Lindsay, gorgeous pets. Yeah, and they come with you to the office. They need cuddles when I need Afi. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, I like that, Charlotte. I try to respond with, let me think about that and I'll get back to you instead of saying an automatic rest. Yes, that's the key, isn't it? To take a break, not to leap in. Yeah, let me think about that. Good. Taking a walk in fresh air. Thanks for that, Mel. Sometimes taking a break before replying to a demanding email to clear my head a bit. Yeah, and certainly I have done that, or written an email and then left it overnight and read it again the next day to help with stress management. Thanks again. We've got some ideas from Kadra there. Try to look at whatever could be positive in the situation and try to convince myself by the advantages and try to give a blind eye to the disadvantages. Yeah, sometimes this works. And I think that is that kind of half glass, half full, half empty approach, isn't it? Sometimes we can just get a little bit burnt and but ground down by all of the negativity. So if we kind of switch that, if we can, to looking at all of the positives, that really can help. And sometimes it is a blind eye. I know what you're saying there. Yeah. And Lindsay, again, if it's an email that triggers me, I write what I need to say and put it in Chat GPT. Yep. That's a fantastic tool now. And get it to write a professional response. It's been really helpful as it has no skin in the game. Yeah. So again, many people are turning to AI to help them say the things they want to say, but say it in a way that is as professional as possible. Charlotte uses the app Think Ladder to help me with unhelpful thoughts. Oh, I don't know about that. Charlotte, do you feel, are you able to share with us a little bit more about it?
Oh yeah,
Thanks.
it's an app that's based on cognitive behavioral therapy. So
Right.
you put in what you're thinking, and it comes back with different reframes. It's been
Oh,
really
nice.
helpful.
Yeah, thank you, Charlotte. So that's CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. Yeah, I don't know of that. That's great. So some of you may find that a useful new tool. Jenny, hanging out with people who fill my tank. Yeah, that's always great. Thanks. And I know you've taught me that and done that with me. Thank you for that. It's too easy sometimes, isn't it, to spend time with the people that drain us, and we can feel very drained in the job that we give when we're giving out so much to learners and tutors. Yep, you do that, Tracy. So it does something similar to you, Elizabeth. And she dumps everything on top onto paper on Friday. Oh, okay, this is cool. And then from this, she picks a few urgent things to action on Monday. Yeah, that's good. Instead of doing everything that's on top on Friday, just a few. And it makes it faster on a Monday to do that. Oh, Jace, I love bungee jumping. Oh, I thought you were going to say bungee jumping full stop. Yeah, I love bungee jumping into life. I love connecting and being supportive with others. Cool. But finding ways, and you are very, I know you and know you are that man, but finding ways to support them if I'm not the one to speak to. I feel good about that. Sometimes we get stuck when we say yes, but can't help directly. And beach is your place too. Yeah, that's good words there, isn't it? Sometimes it's finding other ways. And I know we do that with our learners. Sometimes we know we can help, but we just haven't got the capacity. So if we can delegate and find people that can assist in with learners and with staff, it's really, really helpful to do that because we just can't do it all. Um, in fact, many ways it could, it may feel that we're just rescuing people all the time and as opposed to supporting them in their journey. Thanks, Chase. Kadra also talks with people I trust. Yeah, get some advice from them. That's great too. And Brogan, walking along the beach, that seems to be a popular theme. I feel like doing that now after this session. But it helps you being barefoot, helps you being grounded. Camping, oh yes, escaping into the wilderness. I mean, some people will love that. Other people go, ooh, not me. But yeah, that's cool. Journaling, yeah, that sounds a little bit similar to you, your idea, Elizabeth. Yeah, especially after a big day, talking it out, music, so many. Oh, you've all got them, but it's whether we do them, isn't it? But it is helpful to hear what other people do. I took a session recently in Takaka in Golden Bay, and it really impressed me all of the techniques that people have in place. And many of them involve walking along the beach, using music, talking with others, perhaps using tarot cards or other techniques as well. Fiona, thank you. It's a good reminder. Be kind to ourselves and know that we're doing the best we can. Yeah, and try not to compare. And that's a really difficult one, and one I know that many of us struggle with, and many will blame social media as a reason for that becoming worse for younger learners, younger people, for all, well, not just young, sorry, all of us as learners, all of us as educators. So really helpful advice there, Fiona. Thank you so much. Charlotte's retiring her phone earlier each night by charging it in a different room. Oh, okay. Yeah, so that's a technique because we haven't talked about that. Addictions. For some people, it's phones. Other people, it can be drugs, alcohol, unhealthy habits. So it's trying to find ways that we can look after ourselves by doing different things. So fantastic ideas. Thank you so much for sharing, everyone. Music playing while I drive home. Yeah, that's great, Julie. Thank you for that. Podcasts or books also. Yeah, if it isn't music, and that's podcasts and books are really helpful for learning and for relaxation too. Hopefully you get time to do that in the next few weeks. Thanks, Viv. It's put a really helpful link to Think Ladder there. Really appreciate that. That's really good for people who want to have a look at that. Mary, at work, I make sure I take the full lunch break. Yes, that's an interesting one. Good on you. And avoid interacting with the students who come early. Good on you. I laugh because it's so easy, isn't it? It's hard to have a full lunch break. I so know what you're saying because there'll always be people who come early and want to chat. And it's like, whilst that can be there and good for their well-being, sometimes it's really tough for us while we're wanting to get ready and do other things. Mary does the same as Charlotte, but keeps a notebook by her bed to note down things that I need to do on my phone. Oh, okay. So you don't have the phone, you hide the phone, get rid of the phone, but still have a notebook and you can do it later on your phone. Oh, well, that's a compromise, isn't it? Yeah. But good techniques. I might try that too. Cool. Lots of lovely ideas. Yeah, that's Charlotte. That's what I need to do. I keep reaching out for it, and it isn't there. Thank you. So it's so cool. I love that. Thanks for your honesty. Oh, so many good ideas. You're really fantastic. So you know this. I mean, as we know with adult learners, we all know things, but it's just remembering, isn't it, to do the things and also think of something different because if if the 11,000 steps as I'm trying to fit in every day at the moment isn't possible, just forgive yourself and do the 5,000 or whatever it is that you're doing, or do something at least each day that's just for you. Thank you again, everyone, for your lovely sharing. Here are a few other ideas. Again, many of you will be familiar with these, but I think it is good as far as our own well-being and for the well-being of the people that we work with, is to celebrate successes. And many of us don't do this enough. I know it's a time of year we do celebrate successes often at the end of the year, but there's also a reminder to keep doing it over and over again throughout the year. We've talked already about it, allowing time to be alone, to think, and finding out about our co-workers and connecting. I think one of the saddest things for me is often not really getting to know co-workers as much as I would like to, and because we just don't seem to have the time sometimes for the face-to-face interaction. So it's always good to connect with co-workers. In the last one there, I think many of us are trying to do, isn't it, for our well-being? Try and do something new, trying to get away from work, not think about work, try and learn something new, try one new thing every year. Someone shared that with me the other day. That's their aim for the year, to learn and do one new thing at least each year, and that helps them in their well-being. Um, Again, just a few more points about self-care. when you have days off, give yourself that permission. Don't feel that you need to catch up on doing the work you need to do for your mahi, but also for your whānau too. Give yourself permission to do something you really like. Again, it's about that forgiveness and trying to put yourself first. As I keep saying so much, it's harder to do, but try to work towards it. It's always lovely to have something to look forward to, and for many of you, I know you'll have a lovely time with new babies in your whānau, or new animals, or new partners, or new holiday places. But for some of you, it may not be any of that time at all. It may be you're looking forward to just, lying around reading or doing what you love to do, going into the bush, etc. Recently, I came across Blueprint, and they offer lots of mental health programs that you can join up for. So they have online meetings as well, so that you may want to have a look there. And also there's a service of 1737 that you can text or call for mental health support too. Just having a look at a few more points in the chat. Take a day off so you can be better tomorrow. Yeah, I like that, Marie. Yeah. And Viv's given us the link there. Thank you very much for that, Viv. Um, I know, again, many of you will be familiar with this model, but I just did want to put in a reminder that it's not just about one aspect, too, of our well-being. Sometimes we can focus quite a lot on our physical well-being. Well, that's what I noticed at Tahatinana. It's thinking about the four components, and if we use Dr. Mason Jury's Te Whare Tapa Whā model, it reminds us, and there are other models, tons more, and more recent, of course, but I thought it was helpful just to share that it's not just physical, it's spiritual as well, sometimes overlooked. It's social and mental and emotional well-being. And if we are able to balance all four of those, then we can feel more able to continue the mahi that we need to do. So we're just coming to the close now, and I just wanted to invite you to remember to do this because of the nature of the work that we're all doing, giving to tutors, giving to learners, giving to whānau, giving to our communities, and try and give yourself a focus at the start of the day. So many people advise that this is the best approach. Again, hard to do, but some people find meditation or some kind of mindfulness activity, or just even saying to ourselves, you've got this, or I do practice that one, you've got this, when I'm feeling anxious about the day ahead and new things I need to do. So it's all about the power of positive thinking, isn't it? And pretends and acting. Anyway, so lots of things there to say there and keep a focus on you. So we'll just come to a close now and thinking about our hauora, and many of you have mentioned it in the session already. The same kind of idea is that we can't fill from an empty cup. We need to take care of ourselves first. And in order to get through the best of 2026, in fact, in order to get through a hectic Christmas season that some of you may be experiencing, we need to take care of ourselves. So that's my challenge to you. What is it that you could do in the future that you're not doing now? So we've had some lovely suggestions from many of you online, but this is my opportunity to invite you to reflect and to think, well, so what? I know much of this, but am I doing it? Am I taking that time out to take notice, to be active, to keep learning, to give to my community and connect with my community? So I often think that the more that we share our reflections, the more likely we are to do it. I probably have been quite sharing with you today about things that I'm going to do and need to do. I'm very aware of them. But I think that's always good to have one new thing, and maybe it's the ideas that you've heard about or read about just now, the Think Ladder, or the ideas that Elizabeth shared, or many of you talked about what you do. So if you wouldn't mind just writing in the chat if you feel able to, or writing it down for yourself. Judith's going to set more boundaries. Yeah, you're going to have a look, Lindsay, at Think Ladder and Blueprint. Yeah. Yeah, and Charlotte's like the dump that Elizabeth explained. Yeah, that sounds a really helpful technique. For many of you, as I said before, it can be just a reminder of just make sure I get out there with people I love and walk, talk, you know, pet my cats instead of pushing them away from my laptop. All of those things, yeah. So any other ideas there? Thought dumping, keep learning and being active, Kadra. Yeah, and set boundaries. That's great. Yep, so it looks like a number of you, thank you, Elizabeth. A lot of people are going to try that idea. So thank you for sharing. Mel's going to try it. Yeah. Yeah, Elizabeth, be more persistent at being consistent. Yes, because we can start the year, isn't it? Those New Year's resolutions. Oh, I'm going to do this every day. Yeah, but try and keep doing it. Tracy likes a brain dump that Elizabeth explained, also making time to be creative. Yeah. Actually, thanks, Tracy, for that reminder too. For some of us, creativity is a really helpful way to help us with our well-being. Yeah, and it often gets pushed aside in these busy times. Lindsay, I like the idea of dumping, but I don't write well, and that puts me off. Is there a spoken way to do the same? I'm sure there would be. Go back to your journal. That's what you're going to do, Judith. Yeah. Gauri is going to stand in my garden with my face turned to the light, with my bare feet on the ground. Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you, Gauri. Yeah, I can see you doing that. And Inga's going to get back to self-care basics, good nutrition. Yes, I haven't spoken about that, but thank you for the reminder. Plenty of sleep and some journaling. Yeah, and many of you will know all the good food, good sleep approaches to well-being. If it's in the budget, have a reflexology session. Great. Brogan wants to set boundaries and become stronger about holding, oh, okay, about the doing, yeah, about stronger, about holding and walking the elderly, giving back, remembering the basics, reading, creating, connecting with friends and family. Marie wants to not stress over Christmas. It's just one day. Enjoy the simple things. Brogan, oh, it was them, meant to be them. So becoming stronger about holding them. Thank you. The boundaries. Thank you for explaining that. All right. Thank you, everyone. I'm sure there's more, but thanks for giving it a thought about so what? What will you do in the future that you're not doing? And good luck with doing that. So just to end, before we do the evaluation, I just want to take a moment to say, keep connecting with others, to keep taking care of yourselves, as it says in the whakatauki there, te ake koe, ia koe anō. Make sure you keep doing that and do the things that restore you so you can keep doing the fantastic work that you're doing. Elizabeth, thank you very much. You've given your email address there and some ideas there. Yeah, so thanks for that. So we come to the end of this session now. Before I close with our final karakia whakamutunga, I just want to thank Viv in particular. As I said, this is my last online workshop with you all. And Viv has been fantastic at supporting in the background all the people who've attended over the years, but also importantly me. It's been a learning curve for me, learning to do online teaching, and I've had a lot of support from Viv and also a lot of support from Tai at Ace Aotearoa, and I also want to give a special shout out to Tai, who has to listen to me again in the after, after, because this is filmed, and has to get the videos ready. So he's probably well and truly sick of my voice, but he does a great job of putting this together and sharing with people so they can watch it afterwards and sending out my slides. So that's been my aim always, is to bring the teaching standards alive and to encourage as many of you as possible to use them, and to think about your teaching always. And I've been really, really, really privileged to be able to have this role and to share with so many of you opportunities around adult teaching. And lovely to have met so many of you, and I will miss seeing you online and hearing your fabulous stories. So thanks for your kind words in the chat there. I will close and give those of you who need to head away, but if you can send your evaluations, I think I'm still on 12:59. I've always tried really hard to be on time. So I'll close with karakia. Yeah, karakia tātou. Kua mutu a mātou mahi mō tēnei wā. Manakitia mai mātou katoa, o mātou hoa, o mātou whānau, ao ki te aorangi. So peace to the universe and peace to all of you at this busy time, and certainly keeping your well-being at the front of your mind. And I hope you have a really happy Christmas and New Year time and a fantastic summer vacation. If you get to do all three of those things, that'll be fantastic. And all the best with your ongoing teaching and care for your learners. I'm always really impressed with the ACE sector and all everyone does.